Technology, Hyderabad. He did his BTech from Integral University, Lucknow in 2008, post-graduation from MIT University in 2012, and he completed his PhD from Dr. APJ Abdul Kalam Technical University in the area of nano electronics in the year 2017 under TechIP 2 and World Bank Fellowship. He has more than 11 years of teaching and industry experience and also published more than 50 research publications along with 10 Indian national patents and 3 international patent grants. He also authored 15 book chapters. He has the editorial board member of ACTA Scientific Computer Sciences, Journal of Computer Hardware Engineering USA, Journal of Modern Electronic Technology, and various such reputed journals. He received Best Research Peace Award by Rula International Awards under the title Quantum Computing in 2019. He has also received Best Young Achiever Award in the year 2019 by the Institute for Scholars. Under his supervision, various PG, UG, along with PhD students has completed their degree. He has received the Best Paper Award in various international conferences. He is the member of International Research Society such as IEEE, ISTE, World Research Council, IAENG, and IAE. He has received a sanction funded project from AICT ISTE Refresher Program in the year 2021-22 worth rupees 3 lakh as the coordinator. His present research interest includes quantum computing, reversible computing, fault-tolerant circuit architecture, QCA technology, nanomagnetic logic, BFT, and low power and reliable ever VLSI circuit. With this short biography and introduction to today's this session's speaker, I'd like to hand over the session to Dr. Neeraj Kumar Misra. Sir, please.
Thank you very much, Jayant Pal sir. You given a very nice introduction. So, I'm thankful to all the faculty members from the IT Tripura University who has appointed me as a expert talk on the domain of quantum computing. So I think all our faculty members and I just go for the basics of the quantum computing, and then I will also go for the discussion of the simulation tools. What are the simulation tools are there in the quantum computing domain? Okay, so just wait for 1 minute. I will share our slide. Okay, after that, just wait for 1 minute. Okay, so our agenda is actually here I discuss the power concept. So why this low power device means the quantum device is actually low power. Okay, so the main thing is that heat dissipation. So all these concept, okay, all these concept I discussed in this during this session. Okay, so my topic is actually the quantum computing, the era of low power designed to prevent the heat dissipation. Okay, so mainly in the VLSI there is a problem like a power consumptions. So so most of the device are the low power, but are the low area, but we do not optimize all these parameters like power dissipation or some high computing speed. So in this way, the quantum technology is a powerful technology to solve all the problems what are we facing in the VLSI domain. Okay, so this is a general look of the quantum computing. So many of the companies like IBM or Google already has developed the quantum computers, and we are also use the computers for a real-time simulations. Okay, so I will discuss in our lecture how to use the IBM computers for our circuit simulation. Okay, so here actually our agenda is first I discuss the integration circuits. and what is the application of all these things, and then I discuss the Landauer limit. Okay, and then I go for the reversible circuit concept. Okay, then I cover the fundamentals of quantum circuits, and then I go the programming language of the quantum circuits, and then I discuss the qubit concept. Okay, and then I go for discussion of the IBM quantum experience, like software is there. So here we implement many circuits. Okay, I will discuss this all this point. So this is the overview. This is the overview of my lecture. Okay, so actually, what is a quantum computer? So quantum computer is actually a machine, okay, which can essentially solve a problem. Okay, the problem is a very complex problem within a fraction of time. Okay, so the classical computers, conventional computer, they not solve all these problem in a fast computing manner. Okay, so quantum computer is actually scan all the entire space. Okay, and using some technology like superposition concept, and quantum entanglement and uh, quantum tunneling. So all these technology are combined together and then solve the big problem. Okay, uh, so this is the quantum computer is actually. So this is a high computing, means they perform the computing in a very fast manner. So now we come to the era of computing. So if we talk about the previous, uh, means long back, there is a computer. The computer is based on the vacuum tube. So actually the vacuum tube is actually, they consume, they require a very high temperature. And for cooling purpose, we required very high cooling things. So that's why the device is not successful, because the device is very costly. The size of the device is also, like here you see here, this is the like a big all the room are occupied by the computer, because this computer is based on the vacuum tube, and this vacuum tube has actually, they they are using a very high temperature, and the cooling is also a big problem. So nowadays, after some time, uh, the silicon technology will come in the market, and now the silicon is very much effective, and the size of the transistor of silicon is very very small. So that's why this silicon technology is very useful to synthesize the minimum area based circuits. Okay, so actually the silicon technology is 100 times faster than vacuum tube. So that's why the replacement of the vacuum tube is done by the silicon technology. Okay, and the speed is also very good. So this is a, okay, I just go in the full screen. So this is a general overview, why in the previous the vacuum technology is there, then after silicon technology. Nowadays the silicon technology is also, silicon based transistors is actually also face a problem, like minimum channel length. Okay, so we do not meet this criteria. After that, quantum technology will come in the market. So this is the general overview of the integrated circuit. So we know integrated circuit are involved in all the sectors, maybe your computing system, or maybe your control system, or your healthcare sector, or maybe your communication system. All the things here, integrated circuit are used for controlling the device, and then perform the task, whatever maybe a task. So that's why the integrated circuit has a big market. So here, this is the figure. Here we are discuss about the integrated circuit design flow. So we know the integrated circuit design is the chip designing process is not in the one step. The process involved so many steps. The or maybe part. The first part is the logic. First part is the front end design, and the second part is the back end design. So in front end design is actually I just discuss now. So front end design is actually cover the functional architecture, means we design the logical circuits. Okay, like in this manner. Okay, this is a logical circuit, and we synthesize the circuit in many way, maybe your logic circuit or maybe your CMOS circuit. Okay, so all the logical diagrams are represented as a front end part. Okay, so what is the front end part? Okay, what is the front end part? Front end part is the logical design of the circuits. Okay, maybe your logic gates or maybe your CMOS or maybe your MOS transistors. So the next part is the back end part. So this is a back end part. So in back end part is actually the physical design process. So physical design process, the like routing, placement, okay, and connection stabilizement, many things are there in the layout process. So if the front end and back end both are combined together, then you're a successful IC. Okay, I just say the successful IC. So this successful IC, or maybe say that without fault tolerance or without any fault, this IC will develop, and then we launch this IC in the market. So now we come to this slide. What is ITRS challenge? So ITRS is the international technology roadmap for semiconductor. So here actually the semiconductor devices are divided into many things like discrete device, optical device, microwave device, sensor, IC, and hybrid IC. So we know that discrete devices are categorized into diode, transistors. On optical devices are categorized into photodiodes, optical devices, and microwave devices are categorized into many advanced IC like gallium arsenic IC or monolithic IC. Now sensor is also there because sensor are very useful for analog purpose. Okay, and after that IC, they are using many like some analog devices like op-amp or CMOS, many things are there. Okay, so this is the this is the ITR, means in the semiconductor field there is a many category. Now we come to the transistor. Okay, so this is actually transistor. So this is a source terminal, this is a drain terminal, this is a gate terminal. So gate is actually the controlling device. So based on the biasing voltage, maybe your forward bias voltage or maybe your reverse bias voltage, you have to control the electrons in your device. Okay, I not discuss more about the characteristics of the diode, how to control the current based on the applied gate voltage. Here our agenda is if you minimize the device, okay, if you shrink the device, so what you do, you just minimize the channel length, because this is a channel is available between source and drain. So if you minimize the channel, then automatically your device size will be shrink, and that will be useful for the high density circuit designing things. Okay, so this actually means that how to reduce the channel length. There is a many technique like scaling technology. You are very much aware about the scaling technology. Okay, so how to shrink the gate, that is scaling technology. And here many things are there now, 10 nanometer technology or 6 nanometer technology or maybe some lower technology, but there is a limit. So if we go for the 4 nanometer technology, the device performance or device characteristics are not appropriate as per our requirement. So what is the alternative technology? Okay, what is the alternative technology? Because here you see in every, if you are moving from 2001 to 2016, your channel length, or maybe every time it is shrink. Okay, your channel length is shrink. Okay, so this is the means this is a challenge here. If you reduce the channel length, then your device size is less, but there is a limitation, like below 10 nanometer or below 6 nanometer, it is not possible to shrink the device. Okay, so we are aware about the CMOS technology. This is a PMOS or this is a NMOS, and if the gate voltage is 1, the NMOS transistor is on, and here your connection is stabilized here, and you get output voltage 0. So that you are that means we are aware about very much. Now if you apply the input 0, then your NMOS transistor is on, and your VDD is connected to the output voltage, and you get output voltage 1. Okay, so in case of 1 voltage, you get output 0. In case of 0 voltage, you get output 1. That is the CMOS technology. Okay, so why we go for this beyond CMOS technology? So this is the actual graph. So here you see many things are going are linear things, means now here we see the market. Here we see the market. So now in the current technology or emerging technology, the various technology here, the like neuromorphic technology. So what is a neuromorphic technology? So neuromorphic is computing is a method of computer engineer, in which the elements of a computer are modeled after system is like a human brain or nervous system. So that is like a human brain computing system. Okay, now here also various things are there, like spintonics is also a very emerging technology nowadays. So what is a spin technology? Spin is a like a spin transistor electronics. So what is spintonics? Uh, transport spin transport electronics. Okay, so here that is based on the magnetic electronics. That is how to movement of the electron, that is based on the magnetic electronics. Okay, that is come in the magnetic electronics, magnetoelectronics. Okay, okay, so so here both charge and spin of the electrons are utilized to form a new function, maybe your logical things like AND gate or NAND gate or NOR gate. Okay, everything is possible here based on the spin technology. So here also there is a technology like carbon nanotubes. This is a carbon nanotubes. So this is CNT. Okay, what is CNT? So actually this is a tube based on the carbon molecules. Okay, and the dimension of the tube is on the nanometer scale. Okay, that is on the nanometer scale. Okay, so dimension of the tube is on the nanometer scale, and the tubes is based on the carbon molecule. Okay, so this is a basic a fundamental concept of the carbon nanotubes. So this is the emerging technology. All these are emerging technology, like spintonics or neuromorphic technology or carbon nanotube technology. All these things are emerging technology, and most of the research or R&D work is on this device only. Now we come to the quantum technology. This is our agenda. Okay, so today we are more focused on the quantum technology. Okay, so now here okay, fine, now we come to the slide. Here the challenging task in the device is the channel length. Okay, how to reduce the channel length, this is a challenging task. So in this way many technologies are there, like silicon germanium technology, this come to the 15 nanometer, and carbon nanotube technology, this is come to the 10 nanometer technology. And another thing is a silicon nanowire. Okay, that is come on the 5 nanometer technology. Now the organic molecule is very small size, like 2 nanometer technology. Okay, now if we design a new concept, so that new concept maybe new technology like reversible computing, okay, neuromorphic, spintonics, okay, all these things are there. Okay, what is a quantum revolutions? Why we work on the quantum technology? That is a question. So I just ask to the audience, can you tell me why we use quantum technology? Any of the audience can reply to me, means why this quantum technology is superior, and why we use this technology. Okay, so I think audience means after lunch they are very means they are tired. Okay, but this is a general question. This is a general question I am asking to you. Why this quantum technology is popular nowadays, and what is the special features in the quantum technology? Can anyone just discuss about this? Okay, so I already tell you the quantum computer is a machine that which can solve the problem in a fraction of time. Okay, so classical computer they do not perform like that. They take a more time, but quantum computer solve the problem in a fraction of time, because here the features of the quantum technology like a quantum entanglement, quantum superposition, or quantum tunneling are very helpful to do all the work in a fraction of time. Okay, so this is the quantum technology like motivation. Okay, so now in India it's a big on quantum technology. So here our finance minister has given a lots of fund to develop uh, a fast computing or IB or a quantum computing system. So that's why the lots of research, a lots of big project is also possible. Okay, many projects are open. If anyone willing to solve the problems what are the given by the government organization, then the lots of fund, lots of opportunity is available in the market nowadays. Okay, so quantum technology has a massive boost in Indian largest budget. Okay, in Indian largest budget, the 80 billion rupees are allotted for the 5 year to potential of the quantum technology, or build a very great technology in the India. Okay, now we come to the budget. This is already I discussed to you. So now in our academics level, there is a many academics or many industry are are in this area, and they develop the quantum technology. Now if we come like a JIT, like JP, IT Madras is looking to develop the quantum technology, and IT Kharagpur and IISCR Kolkata. Now in computing domain, TIFR Mumbai, IIT Bombay, IISc Bangalore. And in the communication devices like quantum communication devices, many academic institute like IIT Delhi, IIT Madras, okay, and RI Bangalore are working in this domain. And in the sensing device, the IISCR Pune and IISCR Mohali is also working on this domain. Okay, so next slide is more than Moore, and beyond CMOS. So we are very much aware about the Moore law, means the number of transistors are to be double in every 18 years. That means that circuit are very complex, and how to minimize the parameters, maybe your power consumption, or maybe your area, or maybe your computing speed. Okay, so the Moore law is only telling that the number of complexity is increased. That's why we are facing so many problems like power consumption, or maybe your area, or maybe computing speed. Everything we are facing this problem. But now if we are going to the latest technology, or we come to the lower technology node, the problem maybe something we solve. Okay, So this is the slide here. I just show the Schrodinger cat experiment. That is very good concept to develop the quantum technology. So what is here in this experiment? Actually, this is a box. Okay, this is a closed box. Actually, this is a closed box. Now here in this box, this is a radioactive element. Now here one cat is in this box. Now how to decide my cat is live or die? Because this here, if you apply the quantum technology, both the things are superimposed, like cat may be live or cat may be die. Okay, so if the box is closed, if suppose that this box is closed, you do not measure the cat maybe live or maybe die. Okay, so there is some possibility, because quantum technology is based on the probability concept. So what is the possibility here in this experiment? One possibility is the hammer go down and this radioactive elements go outside, then that is a poison actually. Then cat will be die. Okay, so then you measure, okay, cat is die. But in another thing, if everything is on the proper place, suppose that the hammer on the proper place and the radioactive element is also on the proper place, that means that means the cat will be live, or they not die. Okay, so here every state means maybe your the cat state maybe live or die is based on the superposition concept. Okay, so quantum technology is based on the superposition concept. All the things are to be combined together, and if you measure the state of the measure the state, then you go for the entanglement operation, because here the discrete events are combined together, and you measure a single discrete event by the probability, which probability is high. Okay, so this is a general experiment. Now what is here the amazing fact? So now the Google is in the market, the IBM is also in the market. They already developed a very great quantum computers. Okay, so the Google has developed the 72 qubit computer, means very high number of input device. The IBM is also developed a 53 qubit computer. Okay, that is already in the market. But IBM has given a promise, like they developed a very high computers, quantum computers that work on 1000 qubit. Okay, more number of qubits means the complexity of the circuit is more high, and more cooling is required, because we know the quantum computers require a very high cooling. Okay, so if the qubits are increased, the complexity of the quantum computer is increased, and the cooling is more required, and the device may be more costly. But IBM has uh, IBM has that is accepted this opportunity, and they say in 2013 we launch a 1000 qubit based quantum computer. Okay, now in the quantum computing is not a small thing, because here many big companies are going in this direction, and they are develop a superpower or supercomputer system, like a quantum computer system. Like IBM is also looking here in the market, and D-Wave system, and Intel, Microsoft, Atom Computer, and QC, where many companies are in the market. So that's why uh, we hope the quantum technology will a mature state within few years. Okay, so now we come to the classical gates, because this is the origin of the quantum computers. So classical computer, we know very well the inverter logic. Here, if 0, output is 1, and if 1, here 0. We know all these logic gates very well. Okay, here everything means if you apply some inputs, you get a one output only. Okay, every logic gates is only one output. Okay, so here, why this what is the motivation of quantum computers? So there is a very famous statement. The first statement is the power dissipation. So here actually the power dissipation is based on the information loss, because in the logical computing, suppose that this is your AND gate. If you apply 0 1, you get output 0. Okay, but there is a two possibility here, maybe 0 0 or maybe 1 0. In both the state you get a 0 output. Okay, but you do not know what is my output. If you get output 0, there is no any way you have to identify your inputs. Okay, so here actually there is a two possibility. Maybe your input is 1 0 or maybe your input is 0 1. So that's why this information is erased. Okay, this information is erased, because if you go for the backward computation, this is a backward computation. Backward computation means you go from output to input. So if you go from output to input, your information is erased. So if a single bit information, suppose that my single bit information is erased, you have lost some energy in your system. The energy loss is KT-ln2. Okay, that is experimental concept. Okay, based on the experiment, the single bit, if you lost the single bit, you get some energy, your system has dissipated some energy. Okay, so if your number of input is n, suppose that here your number of input is n, so of course your energy dissipation is more. Okay, KT-ln2, and multiply KT-ln2. So number of dissipation is increased if your number of input is more. That means this all the logical circuits are irreversible system. Okay, irreversible system. So irreversible means system is the system means you do not recover your input information. Your all the information is erased. Okay, all the information is erased. So how to solve this problem? Okay, because if your bits are lost during the computation process, every time you dissipate KT-ln2 energy in your system, so that's why your system dissipate more power. So the classical gates, like your AND gate, NAND gate, XOR, everything is means this is not a way to control the energy dissipation in your energy dissipation. So what is the alternative way? Okay, how to design the system to do not lose any information? So that system is known as a reversible system. Okay, that system is known as a reversible system. So in reversible system, the basic concept is there is no energy loss. Okay, there is no energy loss because there is no energy dissipation. Okay, there is no energy dissipation. I will discuss the concept how it is possible. Okay, because in the AND gate, if your output is 0, then you do not know what is my input. That means there is a two possibility. Maybe your input is 0 1 or maybe your input is 1 0. That means your information is lost. That's why this system is irreversible. But in irreversible system, if your output is any specific output, you identify your specific input. Based on the output, you have to decide your inputs. What is your input? That is the reversible system. Okay, so that means no information loss, no energy dissipated in your system. Okay, so that means we discuss what is how to some other features of the reversible circuit in this slide. Okay, so reversible computing do not dissipate any energy. Yes, it is correct. That is given by the statement that is Bennett. Okay, that is developed in 1973. So actually here in reversible computing system, we are using a quantum gate. Okay, we are using a quantum gates. So quantum gates is actually not process your bits, because your digital circuits, they process only bits, maybe 0 or 1. But here we are using the qubit concept. Okay, here we are using the qubit concept in the quantum gates. Okay, so every input is given by the qubits. Okay, so quantum gates for qubit computation. Okay, so all the quantum technology is reversible. So first, if you go for the quantum computing, your logical circuit must be reversible. Okay, then you say the technology is quantum technology. So how to say my figure of merits? Suppose that uh, in the in the quantum circuit design, we are looking these parameters, maybe your gate count or garbage output or quantum cost. This is the performance parameter. If this parameter is very good, then you say the logical circuit is more optimized or more better. Okay, so fine, now we come to the slide, the energy loss. If a single bit information is lost, the energy is KTLN2. If a n bit information is lost, your dissipation is more, that multiply by n times. Okay, n times KTLN2. Okay, now if we come to the CMOS technology. So CMOS is a combination of two gates. We know very well, this is a PMOS, this is an NMOS. Okay, so every gate had dissipated half CV square energy. Okay, maybe your PMOS or maybe your NMOS. So if the number of transistors may be more, so that is, if the input is more, that you have take n is the number of inputs, so this value is also increase. So for reversible system, there is no energy dissipation, your energy loss is already zero. I already tell you, because there is no information loss, that means there is no energy dissipation. That is given by the concept Bennett principle, okay, in 1973. Okay, so the here the CMOS is not a good, because here also there is some dissipation, that is half CV square for one single transistor. The single transistor has dissipated the half CV square energy. Okay, now the nanotechnology means the CMOS is not useful to design the reversible circuit. Okay, because in reversible circuit there is no energy loss is zero. But in CMOS technology, the energy loss is something, there is some value. So that means the CMOS is not useful to design the physical reversible system. Okay, now then here we use, in the reversible system design, we are using the nanotechnology concept. Okay, nanotechnology concept. Okay, there is many technology now in the market, like a QCA technology, that a quantum dot, cellular automata technology, optical computing technology, and superconducting flux technology. Okay, so here we have energy loss, we have to control if you use some this technology. Okay, so this is a Landauer barrier. Actually, this red color is the limit. If you go for below this red color, then the power consumption may be more less. So the quantum technology has crosses this Landauer barrier. Now we come to this concept. What is a qubit? Okay, so qubit is actually the linear combination of 0 and 1. So 0 and 1 is actually associated with a vector, that is alpha and beta. So that is a superposition concept. I already tell you the quantum technology using the superposition concept. Okay, so here all the measurements is based on the probability. If what is alpha probability, what is a beta probability. Okay, if the probability of alpha is high, then you measure a zero state. And similarly, if your beta probability is high, then you measure the one qubit state. Okay, so that is depends on the probability. Okay, so always this two values, if you take square of these two value, you get a 1. Okay, you get a 1. Okay, so now we come to, so you know the qubit is actually the is the quantum information unit. Okay, so qubit is a quantum information unit, because in the digital unit is the binary bit like 0 and 1, but here we are using a qubit. Okay, so here the qubit 0 means the electron spin in the down. Okay, electron spin in the down direction, and if the electron spin are up, that means the qubit is 1. Okay, if the qubit is rotating here, that means here there is not in this position, this is a 0 position, this is 0 qubit, and this is a 1 qubit. But if the qubit are rotating here, okay, if the qubit are rotating here, this is a linear combination of 0 and 1. Okay, and if you measure this state, then you decide what is my output, 0 qubit or 1 qubit. Okay, but measurement, after measurement you get your result. Okay, so now what is a parity preserving gates? Parity preserving, because this concept is useful for the controlling the fault, because this is a big problem in your circuit. If you will apply some logical bits, maybe your output may be faulty, or they're not given, your circuit will not given the correct output. So there is a one concept that is a parity preserving concept. So in the parity preserving concept, every time you have to check your state, means what is the parity of the input bit and what is the parity of the output bit. Okay, so here always all the parity are to be conserved. Okay, that is a parity preserving concept. Now here in this slide, here you mix these two logic. Okay, one logic is parity preserving logic or conservative logic, another is reversible logic. Okay, if both the things are combined, okay, if both the things are combined, then your output is controllable type. Okay, output is controllable type. What is a controllable type? I just tell you. You just see the truth table. This is a truth table of some logical circuit. So here you just check the parity. This parity is 0 and this is also 0, and this parity is 1 and this is also 1. So here also 1, this is also 1. So every state you get your parity is conserved. Okay, here 0, sorry, this is 0 and this is also 0. So that means here your parity is conserved. Okay, so that is a parity preserving gate. But what is a reversible gate? The reversible gate is actually here the combination, the concept is 1-to-1 mapping. Okay, 1-to-1 mapping. 1-to-1 mapping means in the output state, whatever your pattern, suppose that my pattern is 0 0, you get only one time. Okay, this pattern is not repeated two times. That is 1-to-1 mapping. Okay, suppose that my pattern is repeated here 0 0. In case of 1 1, your pattern is 0 0. Then this is not reversible circuit. Okay, so that means this is not maintain the reversibility. So every time you check the 1-to-1 mapping, your any pattern is not repeated in the output side. If the pattern is repeat two times, then the circuit is irreversible system. But this logic is the reversible system, because here 0 0 pattern is repeated only one times, and 1 0 pattern is also repeated one times, and 0 1 pattern is also, it is on one times, and 1 1 pattern is also 1 1 times. So we say that okay, this is a table for reversible circuit. Okay, this is a table for reversible plus parity preserving. Both features are in this truth table. Now we come to the parameters. What is the quantum cost? How to find out the quantum cost? So quantum cost is actually you in your given circuit, you just find out some gates whatever involved in your circuit, maybe C0 gate or CV gate or CV gate and NOT gate. Okay, suppose that this is my logical circuit. Here I using one C0 gate and one V gate. Okay, one C0 gate. So if you find out the quantum cost here, so this C0 gate, the quantum cost is 1, and this C0 gate is also quantum cost 1. Okay, and this V gate is also quantum cost 1. So the quantum cost is 3. So quantum cost is actually measure the number of primitive gates. So what is primitive gates? Your C0 gate. So what is C0 gate? This is the circuit view of the C0 gate. Okay, and CV gate and CV plus gate. So you just count the number of gates in your logic circuit, then you get a quantum cost value. Okay. So now we come to the classical circuit. What is a classical circuit and what is the quantum circuits? So in classical circuits, we are using the bits, maybe 0 or 1, but in here, both 0 and 1 are combined by the superposition concept. Okay, so that's why I written this statement, because here 0 and 1 are combined by the superposition concept, and alpha and beta both are the scalar vector. And always this, if you take mod of these two scalar vector, you get always 1. Okay, because this is a probability concept. So qubit, here you are not using the bit, here you are using the qubit gate. Okay, and the next is a classical gates. So in classical gate, you know the very thing like irreversible gate, like NAND gate, NOR gate, or XOR gate. But here we are using the quantum gates. What is quantum gate? Like C naught gate, okay, CC naught gate, okay, or maybe a swap gate. Okay, this is the quantum gates. So this is a totally different concept as compared to the digital logic concept. That's why the potential or the powerful system or powerful computing system you have to design here based on the quantum circuits. But this is not possible in the classical circuits. Okay, so these classical circuits are irreversible because here every information is erased. I already tell you in the in case of AND gate, if the output is 0, so maybe there is a two possibility, 1 0 or 0 1. That means it is a irreversible system. But this reverse in the quantum circuit, the system are reversible or thermodynamic system. Everything's are conserved. There is no information loss in your system, and you get a less energy is dissipated in your system. That is a powerful system. Okay, so the classical system, like a logical gate-based system, is based on the CMOS technology, but here we are using a superconducting material to fabricate the quantum circuits. Okay, so this is the comparison of the classical circuits and the quantum circuits. Now here we are using in quantum circuits, we are using a two very famous principle, that is a superposition concept and the entanglement concept. So the quantum is actually this quantum computer can scan an entire system and get a solution in a fraction of time. I already tell you. So they are using the superposition concept. Here all the states, maybe your 0 state. Okay, suppose that I take in 2 qubits. So there is a two possibilities, 0 0, 0 1 qubit, 0 0 qubit, 0 1, and 1 0 and 1 1 qubit. So this is your qubit. So all the qubits, all these qubits are associated by alpha, beta, gamma, and maybe some delta. That is super. That all the states are combined together. That is a superposition concept. And if you go for the measurement for any specific qubit, then you get a correct output. Okay, that is a measurement concept. So all the superposition, this is a superposition because here all the qubits you are combined. Okay, and if you go for the measurement, then you get your result, maybe 0 0 or 0 1 or 1 0 or 1 1. That is based on the probability, which vector probability is high. Okay, so in this slide I just represent the C naught gate. This is a C naught gate. So this is a control point. Okay, this is a control point. Okay, and this is a target qubit. Okay, so what is the concept here? Target qubit. So here the concept is, if the control point, suppose that my control point is 1. Okay, then your target qubit values change. Suppose that my target qubit is 1. So here suppose that your initially it is 0. Then you get a target qubit output is 1. So if the target qubit is 1, then if the control point is 1, then the target qubit is change. Okay, then the target qubit change. Okay, so that we also do in some experimental way. I will tell you. And if the control point, suppose that if your control point is 0, okay, not 0 qubit, okay, 0 qubit, then your target qubit value is not change. Okay, then your target qubit not change. Okay, so what is the thing here? Suppose that this is my C naught gate. Okay, so here if my target qubit, this is a control point. Okay, this is a control point, black dot. So if the black dot value is 0, that means this qubit value, suppose that my qubit is 0. Now this qubit is not changed because here my control point is 0. So always you get output 0. Okay, so now we perform this experiment in a IBM composer software. Okay, so I think I just go here. So any audience is available about the IBM quantum composer software? You are aware about this composer software? Composer look, what is a how to design here all the circuits? Are you aware about? Or you aware about quantum assembly language? My voice is audible, everything is okay? Okay, fine. So I just tell you how it is possible. So I just log out here. So in the you just write the IBM quantum composer. Okay, then this site is open. Okay, this site is computing.ibm.com. So here first you create your account. Okay, so there is a many possibility to log in here, maybe your Google or maybe your LinkedIn account or some Twitter account or some other account. So I just click on my Google account. So you do not create your account, just log in by the Google account. So I just go here, I just log in here. So here two options are there. One is the IBM quantum composer, another is the IBM quantum labs. So all the circuit designing part, okay, all the circuit designing part like a graphical designing, okay, you done in this IBM quantum composer. Okay, so I just click here, launch composer. Okay, so this is the view or look of the quantum composer. I just delete all the things, then I will tell you. So this is a kind of interface. Okay, this is a kind of interface. So here if you go in the view option, so there is a many things are like graphical editor, okay, state vector, probability, okay, Q sphere, code editor. So sometimes if you do not want Q sphere, so that you have not required the Q sphere, you just hide this Q sphere. Okay, so that is possible here. Okay, so now I just design the C naught gate. I already tell you what is a C naught gate, and here we check how to check our results. Okay, so initially here my Q naught and Q1 is a qubit, 2 qubits. Okay, and C2, this is a control qubit. So mostly control qubit is used for the measurement. Okay, all the Q state like Q naught, Q1, Q2, Q3 is used for the qubit representation. So this here in the top side, this is a top view. So here you see many quantum gates are there. Maybe H gate, that is a Hadamard gate, and this is the NOT gate, and this is a C naught gate, and this Toffoli gate, and next CC naught gate, that is a swap gate, and this is identity gate. They do not do anything, identity gate. And there is some T gate, okay, and S gate. This is a 1 qubit gate. Okay, so this all blue color is all are means a 2 qubit gate. Okay, this C naught gate and CC naught gate, and this swap gate is a 2 qubit gate. Okay, and all these S gate, Z gate is a 1 qubit gate, and this is a measurement. Okay, so in the right side there is some code. That code is the quantum assembly code. Okay, that code is a quantum assembly code. So here all the designing part is just based on the drag and drop. You just drag and drop your circuit here, and you just measure your output. So suppose that I design a C0 gate here. Okay, I design a C0 gate here. So you know the C0 gate is 2 qubit gate. Here 2 qubits are there. So I just use only 2 line, not more than 2 lines. Okay. So I just use two. Okay, this is my C0 gate. Actually, here input state you have to initialize 0. Okay, input qubit is initialized by 0. Okay, so I just q0 and q1 is initialized by 0 qubit. Okay, if you do not initialize the 0 qubit, so by default it is 0. Okay. Okay, just for your understanding, I just show here this initial q0 qubit is 0 and q1 qubit is also 0. Okay, so if my control, this black dot, this is a dot, so this dot represent the control point. So control point means here your qubit is not changed. Okay, so what is your output? 0 0. So here you measure the probability 0 0 0 0, probability is 100%. Okay, now if you want to change the control point value, means here I want to put 1. So what is option? There is a NOT gate. You just put the NOT gate here. Okay, so if you put the NOT gate here, ultimately the output of the NOT gate here 1. Okay, so in this case your control point value is 1. Okay, if the control point value is 1, that means your qubit value is changed. Okay, your qubit here, your qubit is changed in the second line. So initially you have to initialize here 0 and qubit is, and the control point is 1. That means this value is changed. Your 0 value is changed to 1. What is your output? Your measurement, based on your measurement you get a 1 1. So that's why here your probability is 1 1. Okay, probability is 1 1. And this is a state vector representation. So here you 2 qubit means 4 combination. Your 0 0 qubit, 0 1 qubit, 1 0 qubit, and 1 1 qubit. But here your 1 1 qubit is high. I already tell you all these qubits are superimposed by some superposition theorem, like 0 0 is associated with alpha, and 0 1 associated with beta, and 1 0 is associated with delta or gamma. But here your probability, if you measure the circuit probability, your 1 1 probability is high. That's why in this state vector diagram you get a 1 1 probability is 100%. Okay, you see the probability of 1 1 is 100%. Okay, so now it is good. Now if you want to change the line 1, second line, okay, so again I just put the NOT gate here. Okay, I just put the NOT gate here. So we see what is my output. So again you just find out what is your control point value. So control point means your this is a NOT gate, so you get the control point value is 1. So that means your qubit is changed. So here you already put a NOT gate, so already the NOT gate output is 1 in the second line, and your qubit is control point value is also 1. So ultimately this qubit is also changed. So again it is changed to 0. So the first qubit value is 1 and the second qubit is 0. So that's why it is 1 0. So this time in this experiment you get a 0 1 probability is 100%. Okay, other qubit probability is 0. Okay, so this is a view, means in this IBM Composer software you design any kinds of circuits. Okay, so I just go and discuss discuss more number of circuits here. If you have any doubts, please ask. How to use the Quantum Composer software, how to create how to design a circuits, please ask if you have any doubt. Okay, so this is my C0 gate, and I taken some combinations like 0 0 combination and 0 1 combination or 1 0 combination. I just taken here. Okay, if you have any doubt, please ask. Okay, otherwise I design some new circuit, that is a Toffoli circuits. I go for the Toffoli circuits. So the Toffoli circuits, what is a Toffoli circuits? I just tell you. Actually, the Toffoli circuits here actually uh, this is 3 qubits gate. Here the line, the qubit is 3. Okay, so here this is A qubit, this is B qubit, and this is C qubit. And this is a control point, this is a control point, and this is my target qubit. Okay, so that is a Toffoli gate. Okay, that is a Toffoli gate. Okay, so I will go to design this circuit in the IBM Composer. Okay, and after that I will apply some qubits. Okay, maybe 00 or maybe 01. Okay, maybe any qubit you apply, and then you measure the output. Okay, so can I go here if you permit to me? Okay, so here 2 qubits are
Sure,
there.
sir. Go ahead, please.
Okay, so here 2 qubits are there, but in the Toffoli gate, I want one more qubit. So there is a plus option. This is a plus option. You just click on this addition button, and then you get one more qubit. Okay. Now you just see the look. I go to design this Toffoli circuits in the IBM Composer. So initially, I tell you all the qubits are initialized by 00. Okay, all the qubits by default it is 00. Okay, I just initialize all 00, and this is my 3 qubits gate, Toffoli gates. I just put in this line. Now here, this is my Toffoli gates. So I just so 3 qubits means there is a 8 combinations. Okay, 000. So here you see all the combinations. Here you see all the combinations. So first I just apply all qubits as 0. So what is my output qubit? Okay, so again you see all the target value means control point value is 0. So there is no any change in the last qubit. Okay, this is a target qubit, means target qubit value is not changed. So every time you get here in this line, your output is 0, first line, and the second line you also get a qubit 0, and in the third line you also get a target qubit 0. So here the measurement, based on your measurement, your 000 qubit value is high. So here you see the probability graph. Your 000 probability is 100%. Okay, 000 probability is 100%. Now I want to change our qubit value. Suppose that my first qubit is 1, because here I put the NOT gate. So that means this 0 qubit is going change to 1. Okay, but the second qubit is 0. So if you multiply, if you take this product, means 0 and 1 qubit, again it is 0. So again here your output is again target qubit is not changed in the third line, because here ultimately this 2 qubit, because here it is 1 and here it is 0. So the product value is again 0. So that means this target qubit is not changed. So that's why here output is 1 and here 0, and here 0 qubit. So that's why this 1 output is there. Okay, because here my control point value is 0, and then your target qubit is not changed. So if you do all these changes in your circuit, okay, changes in your quantum circuits, every time you see here your quantum assembly code is changed. Okay, you see if you remove this gate, then you see the quantum assembly language code is changed. Or if you expert in the quantum assembly language, then you write the code and then automatically your circuit is changed. So both is possible here. If you design the circuit, then code is changed, quantum assembly code is changed, or if you write the code and automatically your circuit will change. Okay, so this is the right side, there is a quantum assembly code, and this is a graphical view of your circuit. Now I want to go for other possibility. Suppose that in my first qubit is 1, Okay, second qubit is also 1 because this is a NOT gate. Now this time is very interesting case because here my both control point value is 1. So if you combine these two control point 1 into 1, that is 1. That means this target qubit is changed. Okay, this target qubit value is changed. So what is my initial qubit is 0. So ultimately it is changed to 1. So that's why here you get your output means that measurement, based on the measurement you get a 1 in this line 1, in this line 1, and in the last qubit you also get a 1. Okay, so that's why here your output is 111. Okay, and here the probability of this state is 1, is 100%. Okay, so this Toffoli gate, this time they given a 1 state highest probability, like 100%. And if you put one more NOT gate here, if you put one more NOT gate here, so what is the change in my circuit? Again your control point value is 1, because here 1, first qubit is 1, second qubit is also 1. That means the target qubit is changed, but you have put here NOT gate, so that means this NOT gate has already changed the value. So here here your value is 1 and your control point is 1, then again your value is going to 0. So that's why the first qubit is 1, second qubit is 1, and the last qubit is 0. Okay, so in the last qubit you get a 0 value. Okay, last qubit you get a 0 value. Okay, so this is a Toffoli gate. I already discussed the 2 qubits gate like CNOT gate or Toffoli gate. Now I design a very interesting circuit now. So I just delete all the NOT gate. So I also delete the Toffoli gate. Okay, so again I delete this all the gate. So I just use some Hadamard gate. This is a Hadamard gate. So Hadamard gate is actually they give a linear combination of 0 and 1 equal probability. Okay, what is the thing here? I just tell you. Suppose that. So what is the Hadamard gate? Okay, so I just discuss some gates. Okay, suppose that we know some gate like X gate, okay, like Z gate, okay, like H gate. Okay, so here suppose that my qubit is 0 and my qubit is 1. Okay, so there is a some poly gate, poly Z gate, poly X gate, and Hadamard gate. So now here my both 0 and 1 is associated by some vector. Okay, now if you apply the poly X gate in 0 state, okay, then this poly X gate is like a NOT gate. Okay, this is a NOT gate actually. So this, if you apply in the here, then this qubit value is changed because this is a NOT gate. This is a NOT gate, and here your qubit value is 1. Again, this value is changed because here you apply the NOT gate or X gate. This is a poly gate. Now this value is 0. Okay, can you tell me what is the answer here in this last state? Because 0 is converted into 1 and 1 qubit is converted into 0. So can you tell me what is the answer here? Okay, so here answer is 0 is converted into 1 because this is a NOT gate, and 1 is converted into 0 qubit. So this is the answer. Okay, so the poly Z gate, what is poly Z gate? Poly Z gate is only change the phase. Okay, only change the phase of qubit 1, and other things are not changed. Suppose that here your input qubit is 0, then this Z gate, they do not change this value. So ultimately this value is 0. But here, if the qubit is 1, if your input qubit is 1, that means the Z gate has changed the phase. So here value is -1, -1. Okay, minus means the phase only, the phase values change. Okay, so now here, can you tell me what is the answer? Because here 0 value is not changed in the Z qubit, in the poly Z gate, but 1 value is changed to only phase. So that means here alpha 0, because here this 0 value is not changed, but 1 value is changed to minus, because here phase value is changed. Okay, here phase value is changed. So this is answer. Okay, so Hadamard gate, what is H? H means Hadamard gate. Okay, so what is here the functionality of Hadamard gate? The functionality of Hadamard gate is that they given a linear combination, create a equal superposition of 0 and 1. So means here they get a equal superposition, 0 plus 1 qubit divided by √2. Okay, and here they in the one state, they given the equal probability, but the phase of 1 is changed, because here the one phase value, the qubit 1 phase is changed, divided by √2. Okay, so this is the answer. If you apply the qubit 1 in the, suppose that this is my Hadamard gate, and if you apply the 1 qubit here, you get this result. Okay, and in case of this combination, here you get a alpha plus beta divided by √2, and here you get 0. Okay, I just write here, space is less, alpha plus beta divided by √2 and 0, because here linear combination is there, equal superposition, and minus, because here 1 qubit in the second state, so that is minus sign, plus alpha minus beta divided by 2 and qubit 1. Okay, so this is the general overview about the poly X gate, poly Z gate, and Hadamard gate. Okay, this is all the gate. I think you understand all these gates. Now I want to discuss. Now I go for designing part in the IBM Composer. Okay, so this is my Hadamard gate, and this is my. Okay, I just delete this qubit, and I take only 2 qubit. Okay, now I just put here. So this is a very interesting circuit, that is a Bell state. Okay, that is a Bell state gate. Okay, so I just tell you what is a Bell state gate. That is very interesting circuit. So Bell state gate is actually okay, fine. So there is a Hadamard gate in the first qubit, and in the second qubit there is C0 gate. This is a C0 gate. Okay, this is a Bell state. Okay, Bell state. Okay, so if you apply the 0 qubit here and 0 qubit here, so they given a equal probability. They given an equal probability of 0, because the cube given an equal probability of both the state. Okay, so here 0 0 plus again 1 1, they given an equal probability. Actually here the concept is, if you measure, because here 2 zeros are there, if you measure 0 state, then same probability is assigned in the second state. Okay, so this whole qubit, the probability is 50%. Okay, so now here you check in the quantum composer. So here I just design here same circuit, because my first qubit is 0, second qubit is 0, and this is a Hadamard gate, and this is a C0 gate. This is my Bell circuit, Bell state. So here I already tell you in this slide, both the state, means in both the state, 0 0 0 0 state and 1 1 state, you get the equal probability. Okay, here you see in the circuit, yes, in 0 0 you get a 50% probability, and 1 1 you also get a same probability. Okay, 50%. Okay, both qubit you get a equal probability. Okay, so I just discuss here. Okay, so this is a Hadamard matrix. So I already discussed this thing, C0 gate, how to design a C0 gate in a code composer, Holy gates. Okay, now here, okay, fine. Okay, Bell state. This is a Bell state. Okay, so this is a actual look how to get the output. Okay, how to get the output. So you know very well the zero qubit is represented by this way. Zero qubit is represented by this way, and the one qubit is represented by this way. Okay, this is a representation of 0 and 1, 0 and 1 qubit. Okay, so suppose that both the qubit is 0 0. The first line qubit is 0, and the second line qubit is also 0. And this is a Hadamard gate. This is a Hadamard gate. So this is a matrix of Hadamard gate. So what is a matrix of Hadamard gate? 1 by root 2, 1 by root 2, 1 by root 2, and minus 1 by root 2. Okay, so this is the matrix of Hadamard gate. Now here, this Hadamard gate this Hadamard matrix is multiplied by the input qubit. What is your input qubit? 1 0. What is your input qubit? 1 0. Okay, so if you multiply these two matrix, so I think you know the result very well. 1 upon root 2 and 1 upon root 2. Okay, this is the first line output. This is a output for this line. Okay, for this line. And what is the input here in this line? Because here input is 0. So how to represent the input 0? 1 0. Okay, this is a matrix representation. Now here in this line, what you get, you find the output. Okay, you find the output. So this output is only possible by the tensor product. This is a tensor product. Okay, so you already calculated this line output. This is my output, and in this line output is this, and this line output is this. So how to get the tensor product? Okay, so tensor product means you multiply, suppose that 1 upon root 2, 1 upon root 2, and this is a tensor product of 1 0. So you just multiply here. So 1 upon root 2. If you multiply 1 upon root 2 to 0, that means this state is 0, and this 1 upon root 2 is multiplied by 1. So again you get 1 upon root 2, and if you multiply 1 upon root 2 to 0, that means here result is 0. Okay, so this is your output. So the first state represent the 0 0 state, and the second state represent the 0 1 state, and the third one represent the 1 0 state, and the last state represent the 1 1 state. So mostly you get two output only, because 0 is not 0 here. There is no do not consider here. So 1 upon root 2, 1 upon root 2. So what is the state here? 1 upon root 2 is associated with 0 0. Okay, and 1 upon root 2 is associated to 1 okay, fine. Okay, so matrix multiplication, you get 1 upon root 2 0, correct? Okay, so this you get only 1 1 output. This okay, so here this is the final output. So this state represent, I just here I just show here 1 upon root 2. Okay, just I see 1 upon root 2 and 2 0, 1 upon root 2. So what is this state? 0 0, this is state 0 1, and this is state 1 0, and this is 1 1. So this two qubit has given the output only. Okay, so this 0 0 and 1 1 both are associated. Okay, you just see here, both are associated with equal probability. Okay, 1 upon root 2 and 1 upon root 2. Okay, so here this is the output. That's why this 0 0 probability is 50% and 1 1 probability is 50%. So we already see in the quantum composer graphical software, you see 0 0 probability is 50% and 1 1 probability is also 50%. Okay, so many things are there. Okay, if you change the qubit value, suppose that here I taken 0 0 qubit. Okay, I taken a 0 0 qubit. Now if you take 1 1 qubit, okay, I just taken here 1 1 qubit. Okay, I just taken here 1 1 qubit. Then what is a computation? So here 1 is represented by, I already tell you, 0 is represented by 1 0. So that's why this is output, and 0 1 and 1 is represented by 0 1. Okay, so here this state represented by 0 1. Now this is the Hadamard matrix, and this is multiplied by the input. What is my input? 1 0. So you get this result. Now you take tensor product. What is the other line output? 0 1. So that you multiply. So 1 upon root 2 multiply by 0, that means it is 0. And 1 upon root 2 multiply by 1, that is 1 upon root 2. Okay, and again this qubit is multiplied by 0, that is 0, and this is multiplied by 1 upon root 2. Okay, so this is the output, and this is a C0 gate. So again C0 gate, this is a unitary matrix of C0 gate, and this is the input value. So you just multiply, then you get results. So what is your results here? 0, 1 upon root 2, and again 1 upon root 2, and again the next output is 0. So that means this is state 0 0, this is state 0 1, and this is state 1 0, and this is 1 1. So which state probability is high? 0 1 and 1 1. Okay, 1 0. So how to represent here in this Bell state? So 0 1, okay, 0 1 state is probability is high, and plus your 1 0 state probability is high. So so you take 1 upon root 2. Okay, so this is the means if you go for the IBM composer, you get the same result. Means in this time your 0 0 1 and 1 0 probability is high. So just 2 minutes I will run this program. Okay, so here I just change the qubit. Okay, you just change the qubit in the next line. So what is your expected output? Means your 0 1 qubit is high and 1 0 qubit is high. Okay, just you check. Yes, here 0 1 qubit is high and 1 0 qubit is high. Both are 50%. Yes, it is 50%. That means this all the concept, all these computations process are correct. Okay, because here software or experimental, based on the experimental result, we get the same results. Okay, now everything is possible here. You change the logic state and you get the other state output. So sometime if you change the output 1 0 1 1, so this time what is the okay, just okay, one is represented by okay, one is represented by how much? 0 1. Okay, this is representation of qubit 1, so that's why I written 0 1. Okay, this is a Hadamard matrix. You multiply 0 1, you get this result, and this line output is this. You take tensor product, you get this result, and multiply by C0 gate. So you get the result. What is my result? 0 1 upon root 2 and minus 1 upon root 2, and this is 0. So this is a very interesting case, because here this time you get a minus value in the third qubit. So what is my first qubit? 0 0, and what is my next qubit? 0 1, and what is third qubit? 1 0, and this is 1 1. So what is the probability? Which qubit probability is high? Your 0 1 qubit probability is high, and 1 0 qubit probability is high. So here I put a minus value. Okay, here I put minus value. So 1 0, this is divided by root 2. So what? So okay. So minus means just change the phase. Okay. Here the 1 0 phase is change. So can I go and design this HC naught gate in the quantum IBM quantum decomposer software? Okay. So what is my state? 1 1. Okay. So just I go here in this quantum composer software. Okay. So okay, fine. What is my circuit? Okay, so I require one more NOT gate here. Okay, I require one more NOT gate here. Just you look here in this circuit, because here both input state is 1 1. So here that's why I put two NOT gate in this line, because my initially all the qubits are 0. Okay, so here I what is my solution? What is my output? Your 0 1 and 1 0 qubit is high. Okay, now we check here. Okay, 0 1 qubit is 50%, 1 0 qubit is 50%. Yes, it is correct. Okay, both the qubit probability is 50%. But here why this minus sign? Because here you look in this 1 0 qubit, your phase is red color. Red color means the phase is minus pi. Okay, the phase is minus pi, because here this is a minus sign. Okay, because minus sign, that means it is a red color. Okay, that is a red color. So that means this 0 1 qubit, okay, this 0 1 qubit is opposite phase. Okay, so that's why in this computation process, or in the experimental process, both you get the same results. Okay, so that is a combination of H and C naught gate. Okay, if H and C naught gate are combined together, so Hadamard gate has given the equal probability of 0 and 1. Okay, Hadamard gate has a equal probability of 0 and 1, and the matrix representation of Hadamard gate, please do not forget this Hadamard gate matrix, otherwise you do not get any solution, because the Hadamard gate matrix is represented by is represented by 1 upon root 2 and 1 upon root 2 and 1 upon root 2 and minus 1 upon root 2. This is the matrix of the Hadamard gate. Okay, because every time you are using a Hadamard gate and C naught gate. So first you look what is the matrix of Hadamard gate and what is the unitary matrix of C naught gate. Okay, so this is your C naught gate, and this is your matrix, unitary matrix of C naught gate. So if you are aware about the matrix of every gate, then your computation is very easy. Okay, then your computation process is very easy. So this is all the slides. So I just given to you, I will give you a slide, so please you do some experiments. Sometime you put 0 qubit here. Okay, sometime you put 0 qubit here, or sometime you put 0 qubit or 1 qubit. Okay, or sometime you put 1 qubit, or sometime you put 0 qubit, and then you measure the output in these two line. Okay, so these all the experiment is possible in the online simulator like IBM Composer. Okay, okay, so this is a new circuit. Here I put two Hadamard gate and one C naught gate. Okay, just within 2 minutes I complete this one. So 0 is represented by 1 0 in the matrix form. 0 qubit, I return 0 1 0, and 0 is qubit is represented by 1 0, and this is the matrix of Hadamard gate. So you multiply by the input, you get this result. Similarly, in the second line, this is a matrix of the Hadamard gate, and you multiply by the input qubit, you get this result, and you multiply, and this result you multiply by the tensor product. This is a tensor product. So you multiply here, you multiply here, you multiply here, you multiply here, you get 4 value. Okay, and then this is C naught gate. This is a matrix of C naught gate. Okay, and then you multiply by this input. So if you multiply, you get this result. That means in this case, you just look here. Your value is 1 upon 2, 1 upon 2, 1 upon 2, 1 upon 2. All the qubits are means 1 upon okay, 1 upon 2. So this qubit is 0 0, this qubit is 0 1, this qubit is 1 0, this qubit is 1 1. All the qubits are given equal probability. Okay, all the qubits have equal probability. Okay, so can we go and just design this circuit and check what is the results we obtained in the IBM Composer? Okay, so just I put one Hadamard gate here. Okay, I delete this NOT gate, I delete this not get. So okay, fine. Now I just define our state 0 0. Okay, fine. Now here you just see the look. Your 0 0 probabilities are 50%, 1 0 probability is 50%, and 1 1 probability not 50%, 25%. Okay, because there is a four vectors are associated by superposition theorem. Okay, so here every state means 0 0 0 1 1 0 and 1 1 qubits. You get all these no vector is no qubit is hide here. All the qubits are come here. Okay, all the qubits are come here in this is in the probability graph. Okay, and that means here equal probabilities are there, 25% probabilities of all the qubits. Okay, and this is amplitude level. Okay, this is amplitude level. If you go for the q sphere, that is means here how qubits are associated with the uh, rotation, that is a rotation type of view. Okay, but if you do not want q sphere, you just hide this one. So many things are possible here if you change the qubit. So there is a four combination like 0 0 and 0 1 qubit, 1 0 qubit, and 1 1 qubit. So you just go and do all the experiments. Okay, so in this lecture I just given the introduction about the reversible system, what is a reversible system, and what is a parity preserving system, and what is a parity preserving reversible system. And I also given the small introduction about the qubits, and what is a Hadamard gate, what is poly X gate, poly Z gate, and poly Y gate, and what is a Hadamard gate, and what is the graphical look of the IBM composer, and how to see the probability of all the qubits. Okay, based on the control point or based on the target qubit. Okay, and I also designed the C0 gate in the quantum composer, IBM composer, and Toffoli gates. Okay, Toffoli is the 3 input gates, and all the looks means the state vector or probability graph. You get all the results in the IBM composer. So, and here this is a measurement unit. Here you just put the measurement here. So here there is a setup and run option. So here many IBM has opened the computers to user for free of cost. So suppose that the first quantum computer is Centigo. So this quantum computer support only 5 qubit. Okay, another is Manila. This has support 5 uh, okay 5 qubit. And here if you run this circuit in this quantum computer, that means here 5 jobs are pending. Okay, if these jobs are complete, then your circuit will simulate in the Manila IBM quantum computer. Okay, some others computer are also there, but you look where is the probability you get very quick results, because here all the computers, all the quantum computers are very busy. Okay, because here here 810 jobs are pending, here 5 jobs are pending, here 145 jobs are pending in the Bogota computer super quantum computer, and here less jobs are there. Okay, you just click here and just run on the IBM uh, computers. What is your real time results? So now here there is option. Okay, just is the you go and check your results. So my job is pending actually. Okay, my job is pending. View, just you go in the view details. Okay, so this job is again pending. I just click here. So you just go in the more details. If your job is complete or your circuit will simulate, you get a result here. Okay, so fine, it is complete. Now here you get same result. Yes, my 0 0 probability is here and the 1 1 probability is here. So this software is hit the circuit is 4505 times, and this hit the circuit by 495 times. That means you get a more accurate measurement. Okay, so this is the original circuit I already designed here, and after the after this selecting this quantum computer software, this is a real-time results. Okay, this is real-time results. Okay. Okay, so many things. So I think you are much aware about the quantum composer, and if you are interested in the quantum assembly language, you write the code here, and you automatically your circuit will be synthesized in the middle of this section. Okay, so I think time is not so much. Then I will discuss more thing about the some Qiskit software here. But okay, fine. I just completed here the IBM Quantum Composer. What is this overview of the quantum composers and how to design a 1 qubit system or 2 qubit system? Okay, all the things I discuss here. If you have any doubt, if you have any question, please ask now. Okay. Okay, I think time is not there. Otherwise, if you have any doubt, please ask. I'm ready to give your answer.
Sir, I have one question. In the composer, we have add option, right? So how
Yes.
to add the extra or the additional gates to the library?
Yes, that is very good question. Actually, this all the gates, maybe your 1 qubit gate or maybe 2 qubits gate. That is already defined in the library, in the IBM library. But if you go for the new circuit designing, so it is not possible to include here. But in the some Qiskit software, this is a high level quantum assembly language. If you go in this some Python programming, then you have to include the gates in your library. But here this is a graphical view, this is a graphical look. So here it is not possible to include your gate, because that functionality of the gates or the computations or unity matrix do not we do not know what is your unity matrix. Maybe something they follow the rules or not. That's why we do not include manually here. Okay, that is done by the IBM only. So IBM is only using the famous quantum gates here, like whatever your gate, maybe C naught or CC naught gate or swap gate or poly S gate. Everything is the standard gate. Okay, this is all standard gates. Okay, based on the standard gate, you have to design your gates. But if you have a new gate, then you go for the quantum assembly codes, maybe your Qiskit software or some RaveKit software. Okay, RaveKit also there is a tool. You include your library. Okay, you include your library. That is possible here, but here it is not possible to include your gate in this graphical simulator. Okay, so
Okay, sir. Thank you so much.
okay, thank you. Fine.
Yeah.
Okay, any other questions from the participant side? Please, you ask. Okay, so this is my real-time results. I simulated our code in the quantum computer, and then you get the result. But sometimes your probability value may be not good here, because this is the actual simulator. Okay, quantum computer. Maybe your result is not very theoretical result, and experiment result is not match. Okay, here your probability value may be vary. Okay, any other question? Please, any other question? Please ask.
Dr. Kumar, my name is Anirban Guha. I am from Department of Physics, Tripura University.
Yes, sir. Thank you, sir. Please ask your question.
Your presentation was very good. Maybe it was a bit technical, for me
Yes, sir.
because I am from physics background. But
You,
it was quite interesting. I will be definitely going through the website that you have mentioned and try something on that website.
yes, sir.
Maybe there are some manuals also so that we can learn there after
Uh,
going there.
okay, sir. Okay, sir. I will share our PPT, and I will also share some maybe notes or some
Hmm.
fundamentals, whatever the fundamental. I will share some notes or our PPT. That may be helpful to learn the basic or fundamental of the
Yes,
quantum computing.
thanks. I have a question.
Yes, sir.
Like in the beginning of the presentation, you mentioned that these quantum computers are very fast for a given task compared to our present day digital computers.
Yes, sir.
So, can you explain what is the fundamental reason for this fast computation?
Actually, sir, in the quantum computer, they are checking all the possible states. Okay, because here all the possible. Okay, sorry, all the possible states are are superimposed by the superposition theorem. Okay, and they measure all the state in a same time, because that is a concurrent process, not a, because in the digitals they check one by one state, all the states, but here all the states, suppose that two qubits means there is a four combination, 0 0 qubit, 0 1 1 0 and 1 1. So all the qubits are linearly associated with the superposition principle, and they are checking all the state at the same time, what is the probability of all the state, and if you measure the output you get a result, because here we are checking all the state at the same time, but that is not possible in the digital system, because digital system are not using the quantum superposition concept, they are not using the quantum entanglement concept, but this concept are only available in the quantum computers. Okay, like superposition or entanglement. Okay, so all the states are linearly associated or superimposed to each other, and they measure all the state probability in the same time. That's why the computation speed is very fast as compared to the digital circuits.
Okay, so that means a large volume of data
Yes,
that is fed into a quantum computer. Those
yes,
are processed simultaneously instead of
yes,
in
yes,
today's
yes.
computer. Those are basically serial process.
Yes, sir, correct. They checking the state one by one. What is the output? But they
Hmm.
check. But in the quantum computer, they check the output, the possibility. What is the possibility? They
Hmm.
get the output. So
Okay.
they check all the possibility at the same time, because here superposition things are superposition concept are involved in the system. That's
Hmm.
why this is a
That means
fast computing.
if I understand it correctly, then
Yes,
the
sir.
possible outcomes will be also be very large, isn't it?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Because here possible output is large. Uh,
So
yes.
how do you select the correct output from the large number of outputs that you get from a
Yes,
computer?
correct. Because every state, every qubits are associated with vector like alpha, beta, or something. So you
Hmm.
just measure the probability, means alpha probability or beta probability. Suppose that alpha
Okay.
probability is more as compared to beta probability. So you get the first qubit value is high. Always you get a value high. That is based on the probability, which vector or which qubit value is the high value. That is
Hmm.
depends on the probability. If probability high, you get a result. Okay, so but this
That means
probability,
in the combination of all the outputs,
yes,
whatever
sir.
be the probability of the
Yes,
highest
yes,
coefficient will give the correct, not the correct, the most probable answer. If I
yes,
understand it
correct,
correctly.
correct, sir. You are correct, sir. Correct.
Okay.
Uh,
Yeah.
so
Okay.
that,
So because I'm learning these things, so I'm trying
yes,
to understand from the basic concept point of view.
yes,
Whatever you have shown, maybe the intermediate and final stage, but
yes, sir.
before that, one needs to understand the
Yes.
fundamental superposition and decoherence, what is
Uh,
going on at the fundamental level actually.
yes,
So
sir. Correct.
then I think the programming will become more enjoyable to the people at some certain time.
Yes, sir. Correct.
That's a comment, of course, but I enjoyed your lecture anyway. Thank you.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you.
Thank
Thank you
you.
very much.
You just motivated to me. Thank you, sir.
Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, sir. Any other questions from the audience?
Thank you, sir.
Okay, thank you, sir. If okay, sir, I think no
So-
question from the audience side. Thank you,
Yes,
sir. You invited to. Mhm.
I think there is no further questions. However, it was a very, knowledgeable session, and it was for the beginners. It was a very, what can I say? I have no words to express. How was the session? Anyway,
Yes.
I hope the participant have got the maximum out of it. Though we have another session tomorrow of yours at 12 o'clock. So we'll meet you again. So thank you for
Thank you.
your precious time.
Thank you, sir. Thank you very much, sir. You invited to me, and thank you to the audience also who is carefully listen this presentation. Thank you to all the teams of the FDP programmer, all the team member. Thank you to all.
Okay, see you tomorrow, sir. Bye.
Thank you very much, sir. Thank you.
Okay. And for the participants, we'll resume tomorrow at 10 o'clock with the same Google Meet link. So till then, stay safe. Have a good day.
Okay, thank you to all. So now I will end this meeting. Thank you.
Okay, sure, sir.